Welcome to this week's Renaissance Man podcast. You know what it is. Each Thursday, New York Post, check out the column, Renaissance Man. Also, check out the podcast, Apple, Spotify. I also get a chance this week to interview somebody that's extremely talented and somebody that can cook better than me. Welcome to the show, Chef Kwame.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me. I may be able to cook better, but you got one of the best hairlines in all the land, man.
Thank you, family. I appreciate the love. Please share with us your journey of how you became a chef.
Well, started at a young age. My mom, she was an accountant, and she switched careers and started a catering company out of the house. And, very much against the law, she put me and my sister to work. I was 5 years old. My sister was about 10, and she threw us an apron, and we had to do whatever it takes to keep the lights on. We lived in the Bronx in this 1-bedroom apartment, and I was doing everything from like peeling shrimp to fabricating vegetables, to, packing up for her on events to go. And, that chore turned into a hobby, and that hobby turned into a passion, and that passion turned into a career. So that's the beginnings of my career and beginnings of Kwame on Watching.
Wow, that's personal to me because I love your mom and respect her and appreciate her.
Mm-hmm.
Because I heard your passion and I heard you say the ages that she started you guys on your entrepreneurial journey is what it turned out to be. But then it was to contribute to the family.
Exactly. It wasn't some menial task she was having us do just because teaching us a lesson. It was really, we're all in this together. You know what it's like to be on a team. Everyone's got to show up. And that's what we had to do at a very young age. And I think that taught me not only an entrepreneurialistic, viewpoint of life, but it also showed me that you can do anything you put your mind to. My mom is following her passion. She got 2 kids living in the Bronx in the 90s. She didn't have it easy at all, but she made it work. And it showed me to make things work at a very young age.
That's extremely impressive. As I wear a hoodie, I lost my mom recently, and she worked at Chrysler as well as worked at multiple bars. And as you were telling your story, it reminded me of mine. And it led to me thinking about the theme of this episode. I wanted to call this week's episode, Love Doesn't Need Many Ingredients. What are a few ingredients that keep you in love with your profession?
I would say innocence. I would say, like knowing that you know nothing keeps you going. I would say in any profession, right? It makes you a eternal learner, and an eternal student of the game. And I think once you have that ingredient, the rest is easy because you don't ever feel like you know everything. So you're listening to everyone around you, and really taking that in. The family is an ingredient for me. Taking care of my family, doing whatever it takes to get to the next level, so they can just work a little bit less. So those are some of the things for me that really keep me going. And then innovation, innovation, constantly rebuilding myself. Right now I have a media company. I was a contestant on Top Chef years ago, and now I'm a judge. I used to read the pages of Food and Wine magazine when I was a kid. Now I'm the executive producer of it. So it's constant reinvention and being scared all the time. Like being scared, your dreams should scare you. And if they don't, they're not big enough. So yeah, all those are ingredients that I keep in my spice cabinet and in my soul.
I'm extremely impressed by you, my brother. And it just reminds me of also that goes with what you said. Sometimes your critics are right. And that don't mean that you got to take to heart what they say, but maybe you look in the mirror and allow that to also push you and make you better.
Oh yeah.
And that's the humility and the respect that you have, and I appreciate that. And in your world, it plays out via food, which is an art form. But like all great art forms, they tell a story. What story are we eating when we come to your restaurant, Kith and Kin?
So, I recently left Kith and Kin to pursue other endeavors, like
Okay.
be a more do more stuff with film and television,
Oh,
into writing. I just finished my third book. But I totally agree with you. I feel like when a dish tells a story, it has a soul. You're not just cooking for perfect seasoning, you're cooking to share an experience with someone. And the stories that I tell with food are really of people. I'm really taking that blue collar way of eating in all different countries and putting that on a plate, because that's the food that feeds nations. It's not the fine dining, it's not the tasting menu restaurants.
exactly.
It's the restaurants that the working class go to eat at. That's the soul of the nation. And I try to tell that in my way. So I spent some time overseas. When I was about 10 years old, I was veering off on the wrong path, which is pretty easy to do in the South Bronx. And my mom wanted to nip that in the bud. And she told me I was going on a 2-week vacation to Nigeria. And
Wow.
I quickly realized it was not a vacation at all. And it was not going to be 2 weeks. 2 years passed before she let me come back, after I learned respect and after I learned to really appreciate what I have here in America, down to like running water, electricity, conditioned air, things that we take for granted every single day. If our AC went out, we'd be really upset right now.
Right.
But most of the
Right.
world lives like that. So once we realize that we have a leg up when we wake up, your possibilities are endless. You just got to really take that leap of faith and go for whatever it is that you want in life.
One of the things you've also done is attend the Culinary Institute of America. What can we do as a society or as individuals to get more people like us into culinary arts?
That's a funny question, or interesting question rather, because we fought so hard to get out of kitchens, and now we're fighting to get back into
Mm,
the respect that we deserve. So,
word.
so I do feel that it's really within the older generation to nurture these young culinarians and their endeavors. I know a lot of people that are finally going to culinary school or finally cooking because they were like, my parents would never let me do that because they worked so hard for me not to work in the kitchen. So I think knowing that there are so many different avenues within the culinary industry. You don't have to just be cooking behind the line for the rest of your life. You don't have to work in a restaurant for someone else for the rest of your life. You can open up your own restaurants. You can write books. You can be in movies. You can be in TV shows. You can be a food critic. You can be a food writer. There's so many different avenues, but you got to let that child take that first step and see where they want to go. And trust that you've instilled in them the entrepreneurial spirit to go above and beyond.
You're a walking symbol of success, my brother. Seriously, and extremely impressive. What does it feel like to have people from all walks of life to enjoy your African Caribbean cuisine, the flavor that you bring to the table?
It feels good. It feels good it's a twofold answer, right? People are finally able to celebrate their culture while celebrating a special experience. So you're able to go out if you want to propose to your spouse, if you want to celebrate a graduation, if you want to have a reception for your wedding, you can do that while eating your food in a refined setting, which a lot of other cultures are able to do that. They can look up so many restaurants wherever they're at. If they're Italian, they can go to so many different restaurants. If they're French, they can go to so many different restaurants. I'm able to create experiences where people can celebrate their culture while celebrating a special experience. And then I'm able to teach a group of people that may not understand my heritage through food. You can travel oceans on a plate, And the best way to get to know somebody and get to know who they are is to first and foremost listen to them, but second of all, eat their food.
So you said something earlier that was really direct, and I appreciated it. We fought to get out of the kitchen, now to get back in the kitchen. And so for you, 50 years ago, we couldn't eat inside of a white restaurant.
Yep.
And now our goal is to own restaurants and obviously have diverse crowds. How is that dynamic as an entrepreneur and as a chef, and how you want to see that play out?
You know, I think knowledge is power. And once you have that knowledge, you have a little bit more freedom, right? People, when my first restaurant closed, they were like, yeah, I hope you learned your lesson. You know, it was a failure. It was this, I was that. It's like, I don't know if you know where I came from, but I already won by even having a restaurant, because I also know that 50 years ago, we weren't allowed to eat in the same restaurants. So when you have that fear of failure is a little bit removed, and you're able to take more risks, because even having the opportunity to take that risk is an opportunity within itself, especially for people of color. So I think the more people that know those things, the more they will have the gumption to take that leap and just do it, because our ancestors didn't sacrifice all that crap for us not to take these risks.
Word.
Or else we'd still be in the same position we were before. But they fought, you know, they fought for us to have rights. They fought for us to have that restaurant. They fought for us to eat in those restaurants.
Exactly. Exactly. Well said. And before I let you get out of here, and I appreciate you taking the time, and I'm going to also write a column about this interview. I really appreciate it. I do a rapid fire segment called Gone in 60 Seconds.
Okay.
Ready to do this, Chef Kwame?
Ready. Born ready.
Let's get it. Most important cooking item that every food enthusiast should have in their home kitchen.
Salt.
I like what you did there. So I'm going to spin that back on you. The Washington football team is in need of a name. What would you call the team?
Chocolate City.
Been there, done that. Go and everything. Loved it. Used to sell candy on the train to help you fund your cooking career. What was your best-selling candy?
Peanut M&Ms, right here.
24/7, 365.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
The favorite thing to cook on the grill?
Favorite thing to cook on a grill? Jerk chicken, hands down.
I got to step my game up.
Send your recipe. I got you. Don't worry about it.
Done and done. Number one, no that people make when coming to a restaurant beside leaving a bad tip.
Canceling a reservation without calling the restaurant.
Ooh, they see your name, they see your number next time. They put you at the end of the line, huh?
Well, it's just that we can't make that money back, and we already have razor thin margins. So it's like, it's more just disrespectful to like not just be like, hey, free that table up, we're not coming.
See, that's what's up. I'm glad you gave me the business way to think of that, because sometimes people think, well, I ain't gonna be there, it's crowded all the time. Somebody else will just take the spot.
You gotta let them know.
Well, I appreciate the love, man. Looking forward to catching up soon.
Thank you, man.